In today's video, I'm going to talk about the chart of accounts in Xero. So many people that I talk to don't know where to find the Xero chart of accounts and how it should work for their business. So first of all, where do we go to find the chart of accounts? We go to the blue ribbon, accounting, and then we scroll down and we find the chart of accounts. Now on the chart of accounts, you can add codes, you can amend codes, you can do whatever you need to your chart of accounts. The main thing I always say is remember it's your chart of accounts, it's what works for your business. If you've watched my videos for a while, you'll know that there's some things on the chart of accounts that I don't like and I make specific changes. I'll make a note in the comments of where you can find that video. In fact, I'll add a link to it at the end of this video as well. Let's talk about your chart of accounts. So there's a logic first of all to the Xero chart of accounts. The income codes are usually 200 codes. I start off with the standard Xero chart of accounts and then make changes. So if in your business you need to split your sales, then have more than one sales account. So for example, in my business, I've got a code for coaching calls for Xero, I've got a code for online courses, and I've got a code for Xero bookkeeping because I want to see that split of revenue in my business. Then we've got the 300 codes, and the 300 codes are direct costs. So direct costs, what does that mean? It's costs that are directly related to generating your sales. So if you're in retail, it's very straightforward. If you're buying and selling widgets, then the cost of buying these widgets would be a direct cost. If you're a picture framer, then buying your materials to frame your pictures would be a direct cost. In my business, in a consultancy type business, I don't have anything that I class as direct costs. Then we get to the 400 codes, and the 400 codes are expense codes, or as accountants refer to them, overhead codes. So look at the codes and see if they make sense for your business. So for example, and I said I wasn't going to go to my normal changes, but there are two codes for travel. Travel national and travel international. If that's irrelevant in your business, then change the name of the codes. If you don't need to, archive or delete one of them. And if travel national doesn't make sense, maybe travel and hotels makes more sense. Maybe travel and subsistence. So name it to something that's meaningful to you, and also it'll be easy to know what you want to code there. Travel and hotels, that's clear. Travel and parking, so that when you've got a parking cost, you're not thinking, where do I code this? Make the naming easy for you and for anybody else that's entering transactions in your business. Printing and stationery. There's not many of us do printing nowadays, certainly not like if I go back 20 years ago, I would have been printing in my business. I don't print anything anymore. So I changed that and maybe just call it stationery. Maybe call it stationery and office supplies. Make it something that's meaningful in your business. Motor expenses. I don't have any vehicles in my business, so that's not relevant to me. But if you have a vehicle in your business, do you want all motor expenses to go to one code? Or is it important to you, if you've got lots of vehicles, maybe it's important to know what you're spending your money on. So maybe you want a code for repairs, maybe you want a code for fuel, maybe you want a code for road tax. Maybe you want a code for insurance. There's one code in Xero for insurance. Again, what makes sense in your business? I'm happy with one code for insurance, but if I had a fleet of vehicles and I had some plush offices, then I would probably want two codes. I would want a code for the insurance to do with my buildings, and I would want a separate code to do with my vehicles. So remember, change the codes to what works for your business and don't be afraid of them. Those are the codes and the profit and loss account. Then when we get to the balance sheet, these codes are 600, 700, 800 and 900 codes. I'll talk about them in another video, because often I think the codes that confuse people are the codes that you mainly use when you're dealing with invoices. So sales codes for your sales invoice and cost codes for your purchase invoices. I hope you find that useful. Remember, if you need help with your Xero Chart of Accounts or with anything else, I'm available for one-to-one coaching. And if you're fed up doing your own Xero bookkeeping, take a look at our website. You might find that we're currently taking on bookkeeping clients. But until the next video, until next time, happy Xeroing!